Hola, it is me, Metal Hot, once again. So, this is a topic that I wanted to do like 12 years ago. I've said that before. Like, some ideas just, they've been there, but I just didn't do a video about it. And if I did do a video, I'm like, I took it down because I wanted to make it better. So, this is about not just getting older, but technology. And sometimes they go hand in hand. I grew up during the 70s and 80s and partially the 90s. And the first time I heard music was on vinyl because of my older brother. He was into Beatles, Jethro Tull, Black Sabbath a little bit, and these other bands. Big Beatles fan. The other brother was more into cassette, cassette format, and he was into the more Euro pop stuff, Duran Duran, that outfield, stuff like that. Like, I was really into the more the darker stuff, I guess, the experimental stuff. So of course, Black Sabbath. I remember when CDs came out. We're talking 93 or something. Well, that's when I was introduced to them. And they had the long cardboard sleeves. And then, Greenpeace, whatever, came in and say, we got to get rid of that because it's destroying the environment. I'm like, really? I kind of miss that, though. Whatever. And I've actually seen 8-track tapes. Yes, I know how they work. Kind of like cassettes. I've seen them at garage sales. Foghat, Ted Nugent, you name it. And I'm like, never had a player of that. But I had a stereo. Sound design, crap. Total crap. Never get that product, that brand name. I don't think they make them anymore. Sound design, I think, it was made in Mexico. It fell apart within 2 months. I'm like, oh. Anyway. From my experience, I have tried all these different formats. Vinyl sounds the best to me. Second best, CD. But it's like some people are really picky about technology, especially music. I don't care if there's crackles in the mix. I'm like, whatever. That actually adds to the charm of the production. People will think I'm crazy. I'm like, nah, I'm totally serious. If it's really, really clean, it's too perfect, and I don't like that. I don't like remastered anything. I don't give what it is. I don't like remasters. Ever. No matter what band you're talking about. I want to hear the original sound of the songs. Because I think that's how the band intended it. Okay? When I hear about, hey, you got to get this remastered, blah, blah, no. Don't want it. Because to me, it's going to sound just crappy. And these bands that come out with here's a new album. It's not new. You just added like 1 or 2 new songs that were previously unreleased. Okay, fine, whatever. Movies. I grew up watching movies mostly on VHS. And there's a certain charm of them. You got the scratches and the cigarette burns. You know what I'm talking about. They were imperfect, but that was the original format. And of course, I know technology changes over time, but your love for things might not change. Like, especially horror movies. Grainy, a little bit grainy, not too much, right? A little bit grainy, scratchy. That adds to the feeling of the movie. I mean, especially the 80s. And so I go around looking for VHS horror movies. There's a place not too far from me. This guy, hopefully he's still alive. He has a video rental store. And I asked him, do you want to sell some of your horror movies? He said no. I'm like, oh, smart man. Smart man. Because they are valuable. Because there's always going to be people that appreciate old technology. There's always going to be a market for that because people love nostalgia, especially like in the past few years. People want to go back to the 80s and 90s. I'm not a big fan of the 90s. And so it's like, yeah, technology changes, and some people love the old stuff, and some people say, oh, I got to have high definition 4HK or whatever it's called. I'm like, what? Why? Oh, I want to see every pore on someone's face. I'm like, why? Is that real? Is that really appealing? To me, it's not. So yeah, here's the kicker. I still kick myself. I used to have, I want to say, close to 100 horror movies on a VHS, and I got rid of them. I know. You might be asking, why the hell did you get rid of them? Like, I didn't think I didn't think I could sell them. And, hey, maybe DVD is better. I think I sold them to a thrift shop. But yeah, I think I had maybe not 100, but like 60 at least. And I was like, I should have kept them. And so I'm thinking back to a time when we knew about VHS and we were happy with it. You stick it in and you had to rewind it and all that. Was it a major pain in the ass? No. The real pain was, I guess, going to Blockbusters, and the movie you wanted to see wasn't there. All sold out. I'm like, what? What the hell? And the late fees, oh, really? What was it, almost $2? I'm like, really? And I guess they charged you a fee for not rewinding. But it's like, I remember going to these stores, and it's like, it was, there was a magic about it. And I am sure some of you are saying, yes, especially the adult section. Yes, I'm right, yes. Of course. The golden age of the dirty. And there was typically, a red curtain and a room and the slanted shelves. Oh yeah, the local place, Wacky Jackie's, right down the road from me. Horrible, ugly carpeting. The place smelled like smoke and buttered popcorn and mold, which, looking back is like, it's endearing. I mean, it sounds weird, but there's just, again, there was that magic. Like, yeah, the wire shelves in the boxes, the video boxes, they kept the actual movies behind the counter because, they didn't want some weirdo like me coming in and stealing them. Whatever. And so, yeah, it's like technology changes, and it's not always for the best. There's sound quality, there's, the visual. I'm happy with movies on VHS format. I'm happy listening to music on CD. And I'm actually thinking of getting like maybe 10 or 15 albums on vinyl. They will be Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden, and I think Slayer. As for the rest, I would say maybe the last two albums by Beatles because they were so weird. So, tell me what you think.